I would just like to show you my Strong's Concordance. This is my Strong's Concordance here. It's in England. I can't take it with me to Germany because it's so big. It's called, and by the way, you can buy this on Amazon. I'm going to give you the link for this in the video description. So see the video description right now and buy this book. It's amazing. Look how big it is. It's pretty big. It's like A4 size and that thick. Anyway, it's called the New Strong's Expanded Exhaustive Concordance of the Bible, Red Letter Edition. And this edition has loads of bonuses in the back. I'll talk about that in a moment. But what it is, basically, if you don't know what the Strong's Concordance is, I'm just about to tell you. The Strong's Concordance is a dictionary. It works with the King James Version Bible. Yeah, that's why you need to get a King James version. You'll notice in the King James Version that certain words are in italics. So let's see if I can find one here. Yeah, okay, here. So for example here, let's see. This is my Bible, by the way. This is from, where's it from? Daniel 11. And you'll notice here, the word some is in italics. The other words are in an ordinary font, but some words, for example here, some, that's in italics. 27, you see that in yellow, the end shall be at the time appointed, also shall be, that's also in italics. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about the King James Version Bible. Originally the Bible is written in Hebrew and in Greek. The Old Testament is in Hebrew. The New Testament is in Greek. That's the original languages that it's written in. Whenever you are translating from one language to another language, in some circumstances, you need to add a few extra words. Like, let's say I say something in English, and the word I say means this, but what it implies is this and something else. Now, when you would translate it, technically, it's only this bit, but when I speak it and how it's used, it implies something more. So this is something like that with how the King James Version uses its italics. Anything you see in an ordinary font, it is a direct and exact translation from the Hebrew and the Greek. Anything in there which is an ordinary font, you can get a Hebrew or Greek manuscript for Old and New Testaments and see it was exactly this word in Hebrew or it's exactly this word in Greek. You can do that. You can't do that with the other Bible versions. The Strong's Concordance matches it all up. The words in italics in the King James Version are words that the translators added themselves. So, like for example, in that example, shall be, that phrase, that was not part of the original Hebrew. So originally the Hebrew just read it without shall be. But of course when you read it back in English, it doesn't make sense. Obviously in Hebrew, the wording implies shall be. So the translators, who are very smart, intelligent guys, spent 7 years translating it. No mistakes slipped by them. Don't let anyone tell you that there's mistakes and contradictions in the Bible. There are not. And if you want to debate me about that, then you can leave a comment and I'll answer your question. But there are no contradictions in the Bible. Not in the King James Version anyway. The NIV version, let's not go there. But there's no contradiction in the King James anyway. The Strong's Concordance is not only useful for finding out what the Hebrew word was and the synonyms in Hebrew and so on. We're in the Old Testament, so we're working in Hebrew here. But the Strong's Concordance is also good if you don't know what some of the English words mean too. And that's especially useful if English is not your first language. Because I know that for those of you in the present truth who are trying to study and you've come to an understanding, you need to use the King James Version. But because it's slightly older English, sometimes there are problems. Don't worry, even for me, like I found two words, tow, T-O-W. What is that? We don't use it in modern English. I looked it up in the Strong's Concordance. It means, what does it mean again? It means like little flax, which comes, like, for example, this material here, the little pieces come off of it when it's being made, like tiny little threads all together. This collection of stuff is called tow. And it's like, what is that? Because in the Bible it says the wicked will burn as tow. And it's like, what is tow? And it means like little threads. I found out the meaning of the English word by finding out what the Hebrew word was and seeing the definitions. This whole thing is a dictionary. Like you see here at the side, this main thing here, this is the dictionary, A to Z. So let me give you an example. Psalm 119, verse 17. I'm just giving you an example here. Their heart is as fat as grease, but I delight in thy law. Now, their heart is as fat as grease. That's a pretty strange statement. Their heart is as fat as a grease. What does it mean? Let's look up the word grease here, and I'm going to you can watch me opening it. So let's go here. This dictionary is absolutely incredible. I'm going to turn here and I'm going to find G. Where's G? Here's G. God. There's just pages and pages and pages for God. I'm looking for grease. It's a little bit. Wait, or is it behind here? Grease. Wow! It's only mentioned one time in the King James Version Bible. It's only one time. So you see here, grease is mentioned only one time in the Bible, which is in that exact verse, Psalm 119, verse 70. And you see in this case it comes from a Hebrew number 2459. So now, if you really wanted to know what the word grease means in that passage, you go now, watch me doing it. You go over here, and over here, and now there's an entire Hebrew dictionary here, and we'll search for that exact number. Each word has a number. This number is 2459. Just finding it. 245. 246, 245. Here we are, 2459. And it comes from the Hebrew word Caleb. 2954. Here we are. Found only one time in the Bible, and it's from the Hebrew word torfash. Torfash. And this word, and I'm just going to read it out from the Strong's Concordance. It's a primitive root, properly or apparently to be thick, and in a figurative sense, to be stupid. So, in other words, their heart is as fat as grease. What it means is their heart is stupid or thick, like grease is. It's all greasy. And then David compares it with his own conduct, but I delight in thy law. And anyway, that's how you use the Strong's Concordance. It has every single word in the Hebrew and Greek indexed. It's got 8,000 words in Hebrew and 5,000 words in Greek, which is much more than in the English language. Like, for example, in Greek, there's like 3 or 4 words for love, because they mean different types of love, and 3 or 4 words for life. And like in the English Bible, when we've got hell, there's like at least 5 different words. They all mean different things. So the Strong's Concordance is really, really, really useful, because in any place in the Bible, like for example, light translated over here in this verse is not necessarily the same type of light as translated over here in this verse. It's like entries for each word. All of these words, these are words found in the King James Version. So darkened. Darkened is found 19 times in the Bible, and that is where they are found, the verses that they are found in. And these numbers here, these numbers mean, it comes from the Hebrew number 2821. But darkness translated over here in this verse, Isaiah 9:19, is translated from 6272. That's a different word for darkness. So if you read the 2 verses, you'd see it's darkness, but in a slightly different sense. It's a really, really useful tool for studying. And this is where the Strong's Concordance really comes in handy, because then you really, really see and understand this is what the meaning is. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I was happy to share that with you. Alright, fine.
Can you turn it off, please?
I'm in the middle of recording.
Can you turn it off, please?
We'll stop this recording again from the beginning. Now, before I forget, I just want to show you this free online version of the Strong's Concordance before I end this video. Here, I'll post this for you in the video description as well. Here where it says the Strong's Concordance, the King James Version, you can type in Bible texts here, and then you will find here that every single number is integrated into the actual text itself. The herb yielding seed after his kinds. Kind here is the Hebrew word 4327. Here it gives us what the number is, what it literally is in Hebrew, the transliteration, and the pronunciation of the word.
Strong's H 4327. Mean. Mean. Second entry. Moon. Moon.
So then you'll know exactly how you pronounce it. And this word, it says it comes from an unused root meaning to portion out. And here's the outline of biblical usage. It means a kind, sometimes a species, usually of animals. And see here at the bottom where it says Authorized Version, King James Version, translation count 31 times. That means that this word, this Hebrew word, was found 31 times in the Old Testament. And it says a group of living organisms belonging in the same created kind. By this definition, a new species is not a new kind, but further partitioning of an existing kind. So there we have it. When Adam named all the kinds of animals in Genesis 2, he wasn't naming every single species, he was naming every single kind, which is a very, different task to do. Now this is not as good as the book which I've just shown you, so if you really want to have the Strong's Concordance, please buy the book. Oh look, see, this one has two. God saw the light. Here there's two words. So I'm assuming that if there's two words here, it means that in my studies I reference the Strong's Concordance quite a lot because it's useful to get precise definitions sometimes for certain words, just for clarification on exactly what the word means. Very useful.